So we all like to feel special, right? So technology is important, but at the end of the day, it's about us, consumers. So I was sitting in my couch with my wife. I live in Switzerland. And she told me we need to go and, somewhere and take our kids to visit a volcano. So we looked for a nice package, and we find this amazing place in Taormina, Italy, very close to the Etna volcano. We went there, and I wasn't that excited because it's a long flight, and you have to stop at the airport, take the car, drive with the kids, and so forth. But we eventually arrived there. We came in, and the service was amazing. So we stayed there a week. We went back home, and we traveled again to Taormina 6 times to the same hotel. You know why? Because they knew everything but everything about us as consumers. The type of room we like, the type of wine we drink, the type of food we eat, everything. And they would send the spot-on offer to us. Every year, they would know when the holiday season is for our kids, and we would simply book it. So as a consumer, I was no longer searching. They were reaching out to me. So at the end of the day, it is about how well do we know our consumers. Having said that, the bad news is that we are in an environment, you are in an environment where tour operators want to become onliners, onliners want to become offliners, providers want to go direct. It is a jungle, and everybody's battling for those same consumers. And at the same time, you have the tech giants who are entering into the space, the Googles, the Amazons, and so forth, investing a lot in the travel vertical. And these giants have a way of reaching out to consumers in a very special, different way. So it's about creating insight, creating loyalty, knowledge, but also influence. The other bad news, there will be good news, no, don't worry. The other bad news is that you're competing with so many players out there. So it is difficult to find the right offer, and of course, to find you in the whole ecosystem. So how do we do that? We'll answer that in a couple of minutes. And at the same time, we as consumers, we are evolving. We want more, we want faster, we want cheaper, we want to be recognized, we want to feel special, and we are being faced with this new trend of being able to reach out to products from other consumers. That's the sharing economy. And it is disruptive because let's take an example of a big hotel chain investing so much in digital business, but then realizing that at one point, whatever they have done is not as useful as they thought because of the rise of the Airbnbs and the likes. Last but not least, as consumers, we are becoming more and more digital savvy, in the sense that we are being influenced by the technical environment around us, be it Facebook, be it Instagram, be it YouTube, be it TripAdvisor, be it those kind of players who inspire us to travel. So how do we operate in that space? The other thing is, whenever we are searching, we are not very faithful consumers, right? So we want to search and compare and compare. And the technology today, in terms of providing super fast response time, even though it's there, it is not used across the industry. And we know how important it is, not only from an online point of view, but also from an offline point of view in terms of improving your productivity. Having an agent being able to book or rebook or search, it is absolutely essential for that agent to be super fast. We know that 1 second of improvement in response time equals 20% increase in conversion. That is massive, right? And you know that conversion is money. When you acquire traffic, it's money out. When you convert, it's money in, online or offline. Amazon has made a study, and they have estimated that a slowdown of just 1 second equals to $1.6 billion loss per year. Okay? So at the end of the day, we will hear, across the industry, you hear words like virtual reality, robotics, artificial intelligence. Great. Technology is there. It will become more and more mature, and of course, we need to be able to master it and to use it. But if we don't get our basics right, how successful will you be in using that technology? There's one component in your technology today, which is the CRM, right? Who uses a CRM with their business? Everybody, right? But to what extent are we actually using it the right way? By that I mean, are we able, through the CRM, to know exactly who our consumers are? And therefore, how are we building the right product in order to reach out to them and make them book through our system? It's not as easy as it sounds, right? And at the end of the day, my strong belief is that we are entering an era of beyond personalization, of hyper-personalization. Everything needs to be tailor-made to my need, to what I want, to how I want to travel. And the reason for that is very simple. I took a flight to come to London. And my flight was delayed 1 hour and a half. So you go through security. You almost have to be naked to go through security. You enter the airport, and then you have to pay £5 for a bottle of water. And then 1 hour and a half late the plane is. And you get on the plane, and the steward says, "Welcome to our special card holders." And you feel like, okay, is that really service? Do I feel special? The guy is reading a paper. He doesn't care if the plane was late, how, all the hassle I went through to get to the airport on the plane. So, which means that at the end of the day, and I know it's unnatural, but we expect things to be so tailor-made for us to feel special. And therefore, whenever we are building the right product, the right package to reach out to the consumers, we need to think about that reality. We also believe that in our industry, it is more and more what we call the rise of the retail business. Selling only flights the margins are super small, right? Selling a hotel is probably better. Selling a package is even better. But it's also about upselling. And all the retailing techniques that you see out there in the market are becoming more and more a reality in the travel industry. So you're watching TV, and who likes chocolate? Everybody likes chocolate, right? You like chocolate. Okay. You see a TV ad for a Cadbury chocolate, minus 30% at Tesco. So, of course, you go to Tesco and you would buy this chocolate bar, right? But do you really buy only chocolate? Because at the same time, your wife tells you, you need to buy this and that and that and that and that. This is called upselling. So how technology in the travel industry is allowing us to upsell. This is a reality which is there. You have different solutions, different IT systems, different inventory systems, which allow to do that. But at the end of the day, it's also about making sure that the strategy, from a travel industry point of view, is being put in place to cope with that new reality. Because otherwise, you will see that the profitability will be slimmer and slimmer. And at the end of the day, all those techniques are about understanding to what extent we, in the travel industry, can increase what we call the net EBIT per booking. For each booking made, we have to be as profitable as possible. You have a lot of providers today in the industry thinking more from a profitability point of view. So if you look at your budget on a yearly basis and you say, okay, I'm good if I'm doing, I don't know, sales of 12,000 packages, which will bring me X amounts of pounds. But wouldn't you be also, good enough if you're doing half of it, but being more profitable because you were able to upsell? So that is technology. But behind technology, it is the strategy of how you want to use it to be more successful. Sharing economy. So it's a buzzword, right? You think about the BlaBlaCars, the Airbnbs, the One Fine Stays, and so forth. But at the end of the day, sharing economy is about, I have a need as a consumer, and you have something for me that I can buy cheap. It doesn't mean buying from one person to the other. It is about finding the right product. And the reason why we saw a small shift, for example, in the hotel industry, from people booking directly to on provider websites or through travel agencies or through tour operators, and the small shift to the likes of Airbnb, is simply because the travel industry was not fast enough to adapt to, I do have that specific product you're looking for, but it's very complex for you to search for it. It's very complex for you to find it, and it's not always the right price. So sharing economy, beyond the typical peer-to-peer approach, it's really about having a tailor-made package or solution which fits the needs of the consumer. And last but not least, it's the mobile part. So you mentioned that mobile is key, that on average, we had 3 devices. But I have a question for you. If you were near a cliff and you had in your left hand your tablet and in your right hand the phone, your mobile phone, which one would you save? You would probably save your phone, right? Because you have everything in your mobile. So mobile is, of course, it is important, but it's also a way for you as travel experts to reach out to the consumer. The fastest growing companies in the market, I mean, you have what we call the onliners, the pure players. They are growing around 7-8%. But there are travel companies growing even faster. This is what we call the flash sales or the private sales companies. And the reason why they're growing faster is because, first of all, they have less online marketing spend. But at the same time, they are building the right product and reaching out to you. So the search process is no longer from a consumer to the provider, but from a provider to the consumer. And one of the ways they're being super successful with is the usage of the mobile phone. In the Middle Eastern markets, the fastest growing companies in the travel industry are what we call the conciergeries, the Holiday Me's, the Lolas of this world. And the reason why is you book a package, and through your mobile application, you're able to act on one component of the package, and you would have behind the scenes a technology which allows the travel agent, or tour operator, the provider, to change one of the components based on your needs. So what they do is they create proximity. And to finish, business intelligence. So this is the big buzzword. I mean, business intelligence is really, to me, something extremely simple. We can talk about massive data, big data, search patterns or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's starting with the start, which is, to what extent do we know our consumer base, their consumption habits, their behaviors, what they like? And this goes beyond their name and their address and their email. It's about understanding what would they like to book from us and to build the right product to reach out to them. And in that case, that's the most beautiful usage of technology, because it's about really serving a very immediate and practical purpose. So, what we believe is that, yes, the travel industry is changing. We've talked at the beginning about, the changing behavior between the onliners, the tour operators, the providers, the travel agencies, offline reach, online reach, mobile reach. But at the end of the day, we're a strong believer in the fact that technology needs to adapt to the changing needs of the consumers. But at the same time, again, if we haven't done our basic homework of working on the basics, of understanding what is it we're trying to achieve. I see a lot of our customers, saying, I want to go online. Okay, what does it mean? Are you willing to spend as much money as an Expedia online? You can't. Or are you saying, I want to reach out to my consumers through the online channel, which is very different. So understanding the basic is absolutely key. Understanding what the strategy is absolutely key. And then comes in the technology. And with that, I thank you very much. And if you have questions, I'll be happy to answer them later on.